Dereck, in the second half, well, throughout the whole game, but in the second half in particular, you made a strong defensive impact in the paint. What were you seeing out there that helped you guys get stops?
Just our aggression. Us just trying to be able to throw the first punch in the second half and come out with energy. We know what they're trying to do. We know their spots. And we're just trying to be able to just try to make them uncomfortable and get them out of their comfort.
One of Luka's biggest plays was he broke up a lob pass on defense. Did you teach him that?
I mean, I wish I could teach him that. I turned around and I saw that. So, having someone like Luka that locked in on defensive end, it's amazing. It just gets us out there so we can get our pace and get out there and run.
I know we ask you this all the time. I've asked you this all the time. But what is it like watching Kyrie in the first half when he is in a groove like that?
What do you have, 21? 21 at the end of the first? 24. My apologies.
Yeah.
Just give him the ball and get out the way. In Kyrie we trust. I always say that. But, just being able to see how locked in he was from the jump, it just made everybody else step up to know that, we got to be able to just try our best, do our best at every possession. We might not be perfect, but move on to the next play, be able to learn, just try to be able to get better.
Lots of possessions in this game where Luka was getting two to the ball, Kyrie was getting two to the ball. You were flashing middle, you were making yourself available. I'm curious, as the season's gone on, what have you learned about those possessions, those opportunities, whether it's finishing, whether it's availability? Like, how are you progressing in terms of that kind of situation?
I would definitely say just finding the right position, finding the right angle, just being able to try to be able to have Luka to see you so he can get the ball to you. And then just slowing down. Whenever I rush, like I did in the end of the fourth quarter, it's a turnover. But whenever I slow down, take my time, read the play, I try to find the right pass, I try to find the right way to get to a bucket. But, it just comes with it came with a lot of reps, a lot of failures to be able to get this far.
I mean, as you're navigating series to series, it feels like these are dramatically different matchups in terms of what they're trying to take away from you guys. How are you feeling in that kind of whiplash going from one 7-game series opponent to another?
You always got to be able to adapt, There's always they're going to change their schemes, they're going to change their coverages, they're going to change their plays. You can't be a robot out there. You got to be able to just adapt out there. There's going to be a lot of things thrown at you at the fly, but you can't be stuck in mud. You got to be able to move your feet. You got to be able to move your eyes and just adapt.
What are you thinking early on in the game when you're sitting there and watching Kyrie just get in one of his grooves?
Wow. Wow. That's what I got to say. He's an amazing player. What he can do with the ball, what he can do without the ball too. He's a great leader. And he's just a person that we all can lean on. No matter if he's having a good game like this or a bad game, he has the same mentality. He has sometimes even more of a voice on the floor. Whenever he gets going like that, he just tries to make everyone around him better. And I think he really does.
How much do you pride yourself on being able to guard multiple guys? You run Anthony Edwards, it seemed pretty early, and then obviously you get to go against Defensive Player of the Year and Rudy Gobert.
Just learning. I feel like whenever I look back at this long season, I remember myself in Abu Dhabi and just remembering just how I felt on the floor, how I viewed the floor, and just how I viewed everything going on, and just being more comfortable with myself, just trusting what I could do, trusting my teammates behind me, and just trusting our game plan. There's a lot of things on the floor that you can't game plan for, you can't scout. You got to be able to react, and you just got to be able to step up to the plate.
Speak. They shot a lot of threes tonight, made a lot of threes. Is that kind of game plan going in, like make them eat from the outside versus
it's really just trying to adapt. There's a lot of things that we didn't know if they were going to try to get to the rim. We were trying to cover in the paint, but at the same time, we knew it was an in to out game to try to be able to contest shots. And, they were making shots today. So we're going to adapt. We're going to be able to just go back, scout, learn, figure out who's the shooters, figure out where they're shooting from, and try to eliminate that. Trying to make each player uncomfortable on the court.
Going back to Abu Dhabi, of course, I talked to you while you were out there. How do you feel your game has developed since then, especially on guys like Gobert and Nas?
It's just been a lot of confidence growing. There's been a lot of times where it's a do-or-die situation. It's either win a game or lose a game. And it's got to come down to either you get in the stop or you're going to let them score on you. Are you going to let them get the three up, or are you going to be able to just run them off and make sure that your teammates can rotate behind you? It just really just comes down to, there's been a lot of reps. There's been a lot of things that I've done wrong. There's been a lot of things that I've done right. But it's just trying to be able to just not be a robot and just try to be able to just adapt on the floor. I feel like I keep saying this, but on the floor is where you learn the most. You can practice all you want, but whenever it gets to a game, all that practice goes to a side. You got to be able to have your fundamentals. You got to be able to have what your game plan is in your head and what your job is. And that's what I try to do. Try to be able to do the best that I can for my job.
You guys finally find yourselves up a game after all the game ones, being behind early. How do you make sure the mindset doesn't change now that you're not chasing?
I definitely say instead of, we had our foot on the gas and now we're trying to go through the floor. We're trying to go through the bottom of the car. We're going to get their best shot 2 days from now. We know that. So we got to be able to just adjust. There's a lot of things there were some mistakes that we made that we can control, and it's just eliminating that. Trying to win possession by possession and play by play.
Dereck, against Oklahoma City, that you can win without Kyrie and Luka doing crazy things. But how nice is it to have them throw up 64?
I'm going to say they both had 30, right? 30 and 33. When you're stuck out there, give them the ball. Get out the way. Just being able to have two offensive masterpieces like them is amazing. I've spent this whole year learning their tempo, what they like, positioning, where in the spots on the floor that they like to go. So I just try to be able to just get them open because, everybody's going to either try to send 1, 2, or 3 at them. So if they're going to show 2 or 3 at them, I got to be able to make the play. I got to be able to just read the floor. There's going to be times where I get to the bucket. There's going to be times where I pass out to the corner. It's just basketball. You got to be able to just play a game like chess.
Dereck, can you share some thoughts of yours? It's your rookie year, right away, conference finals, and today was a beautiful atmosphere, like of a perfect playoff game. So can you share some, thoughts that you had when you entered the court and, what you just felt during the game?
This environment is just so much different from the regular season. And, I could definitely say it was different from each playoff run that we've had. Not playoff run, each team that we've had to go against. They were loud. There were a lot of people talking. The atmosphere, you could feel it. It just makes you just want to play that much harder. You have all these eyes on you. You have all these people trying to talk down on you, talk good things about you. All you can do is control how you play, control how you view things, and control the outcome. Thank y'all.